Some acknowledge it and some don't. It's the fourth wave of feminism. This feminist wave started between 2007 and 2012 and is still going on till this day. The wave is characterized as empowering women, the use of internet tools, and intersexuality. The fourth wave focuses mostly on rape culture, sexual objectification of women, and sexism in the workplace. The fourth wave of feminism expands itself beyond just women. The wave also takes into account the homosexuals, transgender people, and people of color. The fourth wave advocates for their participation in society and in the media.
The internet has become a platform for feminists from around the world to come together to call out cultures in which sexism and misogyny can be challenged and exposed. This is continuing the influence of the third wave, with a focus on micropolitics, challenging sexism in adverts, film, literature, and the media. It was about drawing together in collective groups to work together towards the common goal of ending violence against women, in order to free them and let them live the life they desire. Significant movements for this wave are the hashtag #MeToo movement, a movement made to encourage sexual harassment survivors to come onto a platform and share their story. The movement was started in 2007 by Tirani Barki, a sexual assault survivor and activist. The movement became popular around 2017, focused on solidarity in tough situations and the empowerment of survivors. Another example is the hashtag Time's Up movement. The movement launched in 2018. This movement aims to address the systemic inequality and injustice in the workplace, particularly focusing on sexual harassment and discrimination in the entertainment industry. Everybody deserves to work and be independent financially, without having to worry about their gender and paychecks.
The Black Lives Matter movement officially gained international attention after George Floyd spoke the words, "I can't breathe," when getting assaulted by a police officer. George Floyd was not only assaulted, but murdered on this day because of the color of his skin. The Black Lives Matter movement was already prominent in 2013, after Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and Opal Tometi made the hashtag after the shooting death of African-American teen Trayvon Martin. Since, many recurrent cases of police violence against innocent people of color have been examined and put underneath the hashtag.
Feminist films in the fourth wave of feminism are marked by a number of distinctive features that reflect the movement's core principles and contemporary concerns. These films emphasize diversity, intersectionality, and the use of digital media to tell powerful, inclusive stories. They highlight the intersection of gender with other aspects of identity such as race, class, sexuality, and disability, striving to represent the varied and complex experiences of women and marginalized groups, ensuring that multiple voices are heard and validated. Prioritizing diverse representation both in front of and behind the camera, fourth wave feminist films include women, particularly women of color, LGBTQ+ individuals, and people from other marginalized communities in key creative roles such as directors, writers, and producers. They challenge traditional Hollywood norms by telling stories that focus on underrepresented groups and addressing issues relevant to them. These films often center on women and marginalized individuals as empowered protagonists who have agency over their own lives, showcasing characters who navigate and resist patriarchal and oppressive systems, emphasizing their strength and resilience.
Working to dismantle stereotypes and challenge societal norms about gender, sexuality, and identity, fourth wave feminist films portray complex, multifaceted characters who defy conventional expectations and roles. Social justice themes are prevalent, addressing issues such as sexual harassment, assault and violence, reproductive rights, LGBTQ+ rights, economic equality, and body positivity. These films seek to raise awareness and inspire activism around these topics. The rise of digital platforms has made it easier for independent filmmakers to produce and distribute feminist films, with streaming services and social media playing crucial roles in promoting and sharing these works, allowing them to reach wider and more diverse audiences. Promising Young Woman, directed by Emerald Fennell, fits the description of the fourth wave perfectly. It confronts the audience about the reality of sexual assault, making them uncomfortable. It explores and challenges gender norms. The film also shines a new light on victims of sexual assault, changing them from victims to survivors. In the movie, Cassie, the main character, is on a quest for justice for her friend Nina. Nina was raped a while back and presumably took her own life because of that. They both went to med school, with the rapist who, even though a lot of his friends stood by and watched, was never punished for his crime. Cassie goes to bars pretending to be drunk, and every night some nice guy takes her home, only to try getting laid. She repeatedly tells them to stop, and when they keep going she stops the act, confronting them about their actions, telling them that they are not the nice guys, despite what they believe, and learning them about consent. Cassie falls in love with a guy who went to med school with her. She hears that he is still friends with the rapist, Alan, and decides to plan her final revenge. She goes after everyone who did not believe Nina. This woman later on gives Cassie a video on which the rape is recorded. Cassie didn't even know that this tape existed, and when she watched it, she saw her boyfriend on the tape. He was laughing while telling the guys present that this was wrong, though he joked about it. Here the film shows us how hard it is for women to be believed about sexual assault cases, because a boy's word weighs more. You do not want to ruin a boy's life, even if that means ruining a girl's life, for the actions of that boy will not be charged. It also shows that it's different when it's about a girl we know, your daughter for example. Cassie is mad about this injustice and goes farther every day. She confronts her now ex-boyfriend and finds out he hasn't changed at all. He repeatedly tells her that they were just kids and that he is a nice guy. In the end, she dresses up as a stripper nurse and crashes Alan's bachelor party, where she drugs the boys and takes Alan upstairs. There she cuffs him to the bed and threatens him. Just when she almost cuts him, one of his cuffs breaks loose and they fight. Eventually, Alan gets the upper hand and kills Cassie with a pillow. You see the scene in a full 2 minutes, for that is how long it takes to suffocate a person. Alan is a doctor, and he knew this. This shows that Alan was aware of what he was doing, and that the murder was not accidental. But when you think that this is the end, you are mistaken. Cassie planned all of this, till the last detail. Her ex gets scheduled messages, her dad gets a tape in his mail, with a request to give it to the police, and Alan and his friends get arrested. There's a debate whether this is a satisfying ending, as there are still so many men who walk freely without facing consequences. It is however clear that this is a feminist film, for it's about a strong woman confronting rapists. Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig, is a film about Barbie dolls, who live in Barbieland. All Barbies have different jobs and rule over the world. The Kens, however, go unnoticed and aren't invited to girls' night. They solely exist to be given attention by the Barbies. This is how most women are typically depicted in films, empty-headed and only important when a man gives them attention. At the beginning of the movie, a voiceover explains that Barbie can be anything a woman can be, which is quite the feminist message. Barbieland is beautiful, and everyone likes everybody. Except we're Barbie and Alan. Beach cans play on the beach, and the Barbies do their jobs. One day, Barbie wakes up, and her world isn't perfect anymore. This is because someone in the real world is playing with her doll and isn't happy. So Barbie goes on an adventure to the real world, only to discover that Ken hid himself in the trunk to join her. When they enter the real world, Barbie is getting harassed and objectified. She's even told she needs to get back into her box. Eventually, she realizes that beauty fades and that people die. She cannot return to Barbieland because she lived there unaware of the horrors and beauties of real life. This symbolizes growth in women who learn that not everything is perfect and that it is okay. Unfortunately, Ken learns different things in the real world, such as what the patriarchy is. Ken returns to Barbieland and turns it into Kendom. The Barbies become brainwashed maids who have no personality. So Barbie and Weird Barbie team up to save the other Barbies. They unbrainwash them and slowly take back Barbieland by acting how the Kens expect them to act. In the end, Barbie apologizes to Ken for treating him badly and encourages him to become his own person. Ken also apologizes for his mistakes. It is interesting to see the differences between the patriarchy and the matriarchy. In Barbieland, the Kens can do whatever they want, except join girls' night. But in Kendom, the Barbies are put in a sort of sexist trance, while they are forced to serve the Kens. This movie shows us the dangers of not realizing that we live in a patriarchy and encourages us to tear it apart. The Barbie movie has received criticism for its overly empowering portrayal of feminism. The film can't seem to find a balance between male and female, showcasing that whenever the women are in charge, everything is better than when men are in charge. This actually opposes the idea of what feminism really is, because feminism advocates for equality for both the sexes.